Okay. So the question here is it really good to have the reality that you want? Is it like there's this whole teaching out there how to create exactly the life that you want, all your wishes met and everything good, and everything the way you want it and the way you like it, and directing your power towards that. But I put it in question, put it in context, because to be real, for the divine to come in, for us opening ourselves to God, to the One, that doesn't usually happen when you have everything the way you like it. When life is easy, when life is good, you're feeling good, relationships beautiful, and your life, you're creative, you have money, whatever you want, you have everything you want, your needs are met, you have a fulfilled outer life. But the likelihood, if you manage to get that, the likelihood that you will just stay in your little self for the rest of your life is very high. Usually, in most cases, when people wake up or have a massive opening, it's usually through pain. It's usually through things not working the way you want them. It's usually to being in a life situation that's extremely constricted in some way or another, depending on your personality, on your patterns. But that is the door opener. I am not saying that has to be the door opener, because you can open into the divine in whichever state. You can in a 5-star hotel, or in the last dirty station hotel somewhere in Bangkok or wherever. You can be the same. You can always open to God. When you're sad or when you're happy, it doesn't matter. You can always open. But that's why I'm saying, let's get real. Mostly it's because of difficulty. Mostly it's because of some kind of pain, some kind of strain in your life. So, so I totally let go of any idea of wanting my life to be. Okay, there is a certain stream in myself that wants things to go a certain way. Okay, that's a voice. But what is a much finer voice, but a much deeper voice, which is actually the voice of stillness within, that is free. Of needing anything a certain way. It's freedom of your wishes fulfilled. It's freedom of your mind. It's freedom of the power of your mind to create your reality. Being free of that. That's there you meet the truth, which is the divine. And the divine is absolute. It's as absolute, as divine, as perfect, as beautiful, as pristine as it is in positive life circumstances, as it is the most terrible atrocities that you can go through as a human being. The whole spectrum, all of it is God. But for us to wake up to that, it's usually through the pain. So pain is perfect. The difficult situation is perfect. It's just acceptance, 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 and acceptance. That's the whole attitude towards life. And acceptance means that it's welcome to flow in a comfortable way, to live in a comfortable circumstances. It's welcome. But if for any reason that's not true, then you'll go into the divine calling. You know, for some people it meant to renounce the world, to live very poor, to live abstain from everything. Well, if that's your calling, usually nowadays the calling is to stay in the world, to be active in the world, to do something, and in the same time being clearly aligned to your soul purpose. So let's say for most people there isn't a conscious draw towards God. For most people there isn't. It's also, let's get real, most people don't have that. Most people are happy or unhappy, but they are in the personal life. So it seems like that was even the scheme of souls that entered the earth plane. But that's changing massively. So now the soul frequency is really calling for the bigger picture, not just for the self-life picture. So it really is a calling, and it really is strong. It's a whole pull into greater reality. Like I can feel it right now. It's like pushing through my body, pushing through my system. It's like into the divine, into the divine, into the divine, all the way in. And when you're in that, then you're free of positive circumstances or negative circumstances. It doesn't matter which way you get there. And what matters is that you go into that greater calling. If you have it, then go into it. And you will have it. I mean, if you end up listening to Satsang with Elian, you know, you're probably already somewhere in that something calls you to even look something up like that. So it is a very clear sign, so to say, that your soul calling is actually already one that is much beyond the personal self-life. So now this is the activation of that. What I talk of, or what I transmit, or what I'm able to share now is an activator for that pull in your consciousness to open up into the one, into the greater scheme of everything. Just do the step in. It's here. And then you welcome difficult situations, because they will bring you home to God. When there's so much pressure, you know what I do when there's so much pressure? I just go off. I go somewhere under a tree. I sit on a chair. I close my door and go into the room that I'm at, and just go home into God. You know, just go home into God. And then I can walk out of the room again, or get up of the chair and walk into the world of that same difficulty. The difficulty will not change because you meditate, you know. But you will change. And when you change, the outer situation is a completely different one. Maybe it's completely opposite the way you thought, you know. Maybe you'll have to do something completely else with the situation. You know, maybe you come to a place and you plan to do a lot of things, and then you end up doing just nothing, because that's what's on. So it's highly intuitive, and it's a divine sphere intuition that vibrates energetically between, so to say, between the third eye and the seventh chakra. The third eye only really opens, once you have opened your crown into the divine, which is like you're all the way open. The crown isn't just going upwards. It's going upwards, but immediately it does a movement like the thorax. So your whole body is oneness, a field of oneness. That's the seventh chakra open. It's everywhere. It's not just in the seventh chakra. It's the ultimate, so to say. And then only your third chakra becomes important, because your third chakra is then your ability to see the divine sphere while you walk through this physical world. And that can happen in the most difficult situation, and it can happen in the most easy situation. And obviously, you don't even need to close yourself and make a meditation. You can, but you don't have to, because even in the complex, difficult, outer, demanding situation, there you can surrender to God. It doesn't need the meditation. It doesn't need the going in. But it can be still good to do that. I mean, it's up to the situation, if the situation even allows. When the situation doesn't allow, it's surrendering into the flow, into God behind, who is the real doer behind all the actions. All the actions are being performed by you, by other instruments, by other bodies, by other situations. We're just playing our game here. And who is the doer? What is behind the action, and identify directly with that, identify directly with the divine, then the action is just being done. And with that comes, what comes off your chest is such a chunk of heaviness and of difficulty and of complaint and of all these energies that you put into the world to make everything difficult. When you come from the divine sphere, you may still be in a difficult situation, but you'll come from clarity. But you have to go there. That's on you to step in. Aho.